Alright, hi guys, so I've been using GoatTracker for a while now and I've learnt a few things, so I just want to share what I learnt. So when you first open GoatTracker it's a wee bit daunting. I'm just going to take you through the first things to do. So your first instrument, click there and then press F on each of those. I kind of have to do it up in a different window because something to do with my screen sizes. I'm kind of like stuck with a smaller version of it up here. Right. So the first thing to do is change your attack and decay sustain release to 0F, 0F. That will give you a tone, and nothing will happen until you give it a wavetable position. This is your wavetable, and I'm going to open this. I think that's a sawtooth. I think it was one of the waveforms, and then just FF to close that off. So that's like a self-contained little thing. Now if you press spacebar, that's what that sounds like. Change that to 2, so it's now shorter, right? So if you want to control the volume in a way, you can play with these, the decay and the release amount. Right, and you get something like that. So you're going to click here, and then you can start to use the keyboard. And if you right click the octave here, you go down. If you hold down shift and use the arrow key up, you can copy all that. So Control C, go down to where you want, Control V, and then F1 to hear that. Of course, while it's playing, you can mess with these. You can also change these. That's your, I think that's the sine wave one. Sawtooth. And noise is 8. Right. Now, if you put in 4140, so 41 is like open the wave and 40 is close it, right? Sort of thing. I'm not too sure the terminology, but that's how I see it. So you've put them in, but nothing really comes through. You can hear something, but you need, with 40s, you need a pulse position, pulse table position. So I'll say pulse table 1, and then it needs some sort of something in there. I think the higher the number in the right, I think the faster it goes or something. I'm not too sure. But I just mess with them until I get a sound that I like. And you can put in some other values there as well. And then FF to close it, or you can look back. So it's, in theory, it's looping back there or something like that. Again, I don't fully understand these, but you can press F12, and if you go page down, you can look at the pulse table position and stuff like that. Pulse, go pulse table, left side, pulse modulation, indicates time and right side the speed. Time and speed just say the same thing to me. I don't really understand that. It's more like depth and speed is what I would expect. Yeah, and jump. Okay, so with that done, you can press F4 to stop that. At any point in time, you can come up here, and if you press space, this will change the jam mode, so you can kind of just mess with that, change the octave up. Of course, you can kind of mix it up a bit and put both in, so space bar, so press F1, copy that, and paste it. Of course, if you didn't want that to be the same instrument, you can put 2s on all these, so right, and then you can go to instrument 2. Right, if you don't want to hear channel 1, just do shift and 1. You can toggle that, so shift and 1, and then so I'll do F1 just to play that in a loop, and then instrument 2 we need to define, so I'll just do F and F. Wave position will start at 4, and then I'll do 21, 28, FF. Right, another thing you can do, like, so you can do shift and insert, right, make a space there. Don't know why it's done that. Right, so we'll turn on the wave, turn off the wave, position 4. Right, now if you leave a gap here, it's basically going to say that it's going to keep the same wave as you defined here, but you can change the arpeggio tone, whatever it is, like the step up, right, for how many ticks, right? So in this case it's no ticks, so it'll be pretty quick. If I change it to 1, 2, 3, can't really hear it too obviously, but if I change this to loop back to 05, and I give it a bit more release, you can hear it's an arpeggio, right? So maybe I want to do another one, so I'll insert and then do, I'm going to go to 2 and loop back to 5. I think it's quite got enough time, so I'll change them to 1. There you go. Change that to 7. Whatever you want, right? I think you can mess about. 18 is the next one, I think. C, D, E, F, 10, 11, 12, 14. So 18 sounds right to me. Right, you get used to these numbers. I'm still getting used to them, but that's your little arpeggio there. Again, you can play it really slowly, so let's just, for example, I'm going to just do shift and 2 just to mute that channel, and just put in there, you can kind of hear it, bloom, right, and it's fading out. So if I change that to F, right? So if you wanted to do an instrument change halfway through this, just insert a couple of times. It updates all the numbers, by the way. If you insert something, it'll re-reference itself, so you don't have to worry about trying to recalibrate everything. So you could do that, and then you could say, well, I want to use like that, and do. So since I'm defining the wave here with the 11 and the 10, stuff like that, that's a bit different. Right. I can even change that to 81. Right, and mess about. And it's looping back to 5 there, so that's quite annoying. So the thing is, so what's happening here is it's just kind of hitting these notes quite a lot and never really turning off that one. So let's try and loop that back to 7. So it's just kind of firing around there. It takes a bit of like getting used to what it's doing, right? I'm sure I'm doing something wrong here. Right. But anyway, so yeah, 21 is 11. In fact, yeah, you can turn that off there if you want to do just an arpeggio bit. Nine. Okay. So let's put that one back on. Shift and 2. Shift and 1. Right. So after a while you want to do some drums or something, like a kick. I'll find something that kind of goes doom, like down like that is quite good. So you'd want to start with 21 and every cycle sort of take away something. So I think if you do anything above 7F, like 82, and if I go back to D, in theory that should be a sound that goes down the way. I might have to turn it off at some point, but let me just test this. So wavetable C, a bit of decay, so it's just A and A. Oops, A and A. So it's not really starting high enough, so I can maybe start that bit higher. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Right. That's definitely, that's just making it go to a really high tone. So you can do that, or you can kind of go down like this. Yeah, don't make it go round. And so let's do, you have to put in a few of these, I think. So insert a few of these, 21, 20, 20, 20. And let's say you started on, I know, A and 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1, something like that. That's a bit better. Too much release though, so, and it's too high. And I'm not too sure about the, I'm going to try that. too raspy, so take away the twos. And you got sort of peppy sounding bass drum a little bit. Just mess with these numbers. Tom-toms. Sometimes you just have to mess with the values here to try and get rid of it's carrying like an extra tone. I can experiment a bit. This a bit higher. It's kind of consistent enough. So now I can delete all that chaos and see what works best. Try that as a kind of bass drum. Copy and paste a few times. Oh, I've got an extra space in there. Let's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 to 15. And then and if you don't hear it so well, that's when you can start to sort of change the wave table, pulse table even. Shift in 1 and 2 to hear those. Also try a little bit of noise in there, or even 3s and 5s. 3's got a nice little sharp tone to it. It's quite nice. Notice if you do 8-1 or 8-0, you get a bit of a different thing. Right. Another thing you can do if you really wanted to be pro, which I'm not very good at yet, again I'm just showing you this as a kind of beginner, is use your filter table. So I'll do filter position 1, and what you do is, so this position 1, you do something like B0 as a kind of bandpass filter thing, and then the channel, so it won't affect 1, 2, 3. As you do it again, 1, 2, 1, 3, 7. Yeah. So if this is 1, this is 2, and this is 4. Adding them up equals 7, so if I do 4, it's just this channel it's affecting, so let me just switch them on. So if it's 7, it's affecting them all, so 4 is your right column here, 2 is the middle one, 1's the left one, add them up, So 3 would be those two, and 7 would be all of them. And if I just wanted that one, it would be 4. 1, 2, 4. Binary, basically. So now, with that done, I can do something in here, so I'll just make sure that ends there. And I think I can put some values in. I think you still have to do, well, you don't have to do B0 anymore. You'd put in values in here, which I don't fully know how they work yet. But again, just experiment till you get something what you want. Yeah, muck about with all of it. I'd say the filters are pretty good if you're using noise. It can help get rid of that. Harshness. Take the attack out here. Pretty sure if you do, I think it's signed, so if you do anything above 80, it should be going down the way if you're repeating on that note, but I'm not too sure if I know what I'm doing. Sounds more like a squishy heartbeat than anything else, but let's go for that. Try and mess about with these some more. So that just has to stay like that. There's also, you can also define the let me just delete that. You can define it in here what the filter does. So if you go to F12 and you have a look at filters, set filter pointer, filter control, resonance, and channel bit mask. So BXY. Let me just try that. So B. Now, channel bit mask would always be 04, I suppose. So look at that, nothing there. Let's just mess about with those. messed up again. Try and change these. So I don't fully get it. And if you did B00, it would turn it off. Apparently. Yeah, it turns it off for that particular one. I should keep these on 4, I suppose. And just experiment with these values. I don't hear any resonance or anything. Yeah, that's all your commands and stuff there. So yeah, that's kind of it. The filters are too advanced for me at this stage, but I thought I would show you kind of how they work, at least. I'm just going to load in a little track that I did earlier. So F10 load song, and I've got a little City Cat song that I was working on. 11 save song. If you're on the instruments panel, to save instruments. So I want to go to my drive. Is it D drive? Yeah. And City Cat. Original. Right. There we go. So that's just something I was working on. So it's basically based on the ATA tune, all Tetris games or something, but I forget what it's called. All Tetris apps. It's a C64 game from public domain from many, many years ago, and I really loved this tune for it. So I'm just kind of trying to remake it, stylized up a bit. So you can see instrument 1 here is an arpeggio that I've made, and I've kind of learned how to do those using the offsets and timing. So left side is timing and these are the offsets. And then I've made a couple of variations of those. Sound amazing. And then this is my little computery sound. Not quite the same as the original, but I quite like what I've done here. And then I was going to make up a bass sound, so basically, yeah, in here I would do something, probably E, and do my usual thing, F, F, and find where I'm next available here, 16. Alright, and I'll just do a 2-1-2-0 FF just to see how that sounds. I'm just trying to figure out the note that works best for it. Just experimenting. So in the original, it's more like do 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 do. So yeah, it's definitely that E, but the thing is, it's too. I don't have any notes left after 2 to the left. It's kind of like the lowest it goes, so I would have to be in a higher octave. So let's try that. Do 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 do. I need to go here so I can use the top row keys. Do, 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 do. Just listen to that on its own. It can be quite annoying to hear the same thing again and again. Last bit is different actually. It goes da 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 da. Do 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 do. There's nothing left. Like there's no notes left after that C sharp. That's really it though, so let's see that and then mess with it. So you imagine a drum and a snare in there. You could fit a snare in, but the drum would need to be built into that bass sound, which I've not really figured out yet. Maybe more of a punchiness to it, so you could maybe do like that, or have an instrument variation that's more punchy. You can also do fixed notes, so they don't change no matter what note you play. they stay fixed, and there's a whole chart on that I just started looking into. That sounds better, like that. Then you can try other stuff, like a couple of arpeggio bits thrown in. And then bring other notes back in. Quite as good as the original, and it could be down to just the notes are very loud, so especially this one's maybe a bit too loud, so I can turn it down a bit with decay. This is too chirpy now. Of course we can do the filter table stuff on that if we wanted. At some risk, let's try. And that'd be 4. I can mess about. Again, I've not got it all figured out. So if anyone feels free to explain how the filter table works, I've still not got it all figured out yet. Let's bring the other one back on. Right, so then I just need a punchy drum. And the drums, I just completely wing drums. I have no idea. I was putting some noise and arpeggio stuff. So let's do 1B, wavetable 1B. Again, I'll just do F and F there just to get it started. And then I'll just put in a 8-1, 2-1, 1 close that off, close that off. I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm just completely winging it, and I'll learn as I go. Right, and then I'll put in some mad random numbers in here, right, and then put some slow release in there. I don't want that to be going all the way back there, so I'll do 1E, right? Definitely not a drum. Oops. You need to be careful with the backspacing. If you use delete, it'll pull everything up, but backspace will just delete what's in the cell. Right, let me just see. So you get some interesting sounds. I'm going to go with that and then try and mess with it. So these are my beats, my snares if you like. Right. I'll get them in first. Delete backspace. And then go from there. Let's just play that one column. Hey, not bad. Right. Oops. Right. Where are we? Of course, the filter's still working on that channel. I mean, I could turn the filter off by doing B0. Is that right? On 6. Like I said, it gets really noisy. It's starting to sound like a record. God, it sounds awful. Yeah, hopeless. Alright, I think it's just a case of experiment with it. You can't do that in a channel that's muted, and if you do jam mode, there we go. I'm not very good at snares. Not very good at a lot of this, but hopefully you learnt a little bit from my messing around in this. I'll further be trying to get that snare drum to sound good. If you're really struggling though, what I suggest doing, so like if you save your track, right, I'll just save that over there, and then you can load in with F10, load a song, and where's the I don't know what this GoatTracker is. Documents. Shit, I don't know where it is. GoatTracker. Well, what you can do is just right click on the icon and do properties. It's in C64 stuff, tools, and D drive. So go back to that. Oops. Load C64 stuff. Oops. D drive, C64 stuff, tools, GoatTracker, examples. We can load instrument. It's not an instrument we want. Let's make sure you're on the track table. F10. It's very cumbersome, but it's old school. What can I say? So back up, load song, D, C64 stuff, tools, GoatTracker, examples. Right, so you can load in one of these. I don't know which one's good. Funk test, right? And then you can go through. So I'm in jam mode. You can also press spacebar, I think. Oh, there's a snare. That's what I'm talking about. So you can actually save the instrument. If I go here somewhere in this table and then just do F11, save instrument. I'm going to save that. Then I can go back to my song. I don't know how much this interrupts things, but let's just go back to my one. So load song, F10. You can actually use the mouse here, just noticed. Mega style, Cat original, and go to a new point, and it should allocate it correctly if I'm right. So let's do load, not song. Make sure you're on the instrument part. Yeah, and then find the snare, and it should allocate itself. Alright, got everything good. Play, play, play. Now I can just put them into 1, 2, 3, 7. So there we go. Let's see. That should be all right. Let's test it. Right. So I'll put them in place. Where all the sixes are. Hit the waypoint up. Right, so then I can look at that instrument. Its wave position's 22. Right, 22. There we go. So it's opening with the noise, so then got a pulse table stuff in there, closing the noise. It's got some release on it, sustain, no attack and decay actually, so yeah, that was my mistake to do those. We can kind of mess with it a bit, so I'll turn off 1 and 2 and play it. And there we go. So that's basically it's sounding pretty close, and as you can see, I'm still learning. So thanks for bearing with me through that. It can be so annoying trying to make music when you hear the same thing over and over and over again. You just have to get sort of zoned into it. Different people have different methods, like play the instrument on its own and stuff like that. I'm still learning things, but hopefully that helps you guys that are new to GoatTracker, because I could have done with something like this to get me started. I was completely lost. Oh, if you do want to make up then your track pattern, it's kind of up here. You would do insert. So these are 3 voices. In this case, it's a channel 0, 1, and 2, right? And you can change. You can left click on these to do a new pattern, right? That's all of them are the same in this case, 1, 2, and 3, so you might want to do 3, 4, 5 next, right? And make them completely different, because you might recycle like this one, for example, or whatever. So yeah, that's really it. Thanks for watching. Bye.